Welcome, everybody, to the first episode of the Going for Two podcast of 2025. As per usual, we have myself, Alec, and Taylor, and we have Murphy in the background for those on YouTube. Murphy's had a long day. You could say it's been rough.
That was awful.
Murph's here. Murph's in the back. Taylor, how's the new year so far been treating you? We've been a little busy.
Yeah, but I feel like we both have. It's been one of those non-stops where if I'm busy, you're not, and vice versa. So it's been one of those. It's been a little hard to get content out this year so far. But
Yeah.
I think we're gonna try to get a little bit more consistent and start trying to have some things in the pipe.
Yeah. Well, we'll get them out as quickly as we can, but obviously we still have college football going on. We have NFL playoffs going on. The first round happened. The semifinals happened since the last time we were on the podcast.
Yeah.
What's your overall going into the national championship game? What's your was the 12-team playoff good for you? Like, do you think it went well?
I don't mind it. I think you're going to see changes. I'm not sure. I think after we finish the national championship, I think I'm going to want to go back and look at just kind of how every game played and what could have been done differently. I think you're going to see a formatting different going forward. I don't know. I get you want to give your Power Four conferences that win their conference a bye. I don't know if that's always the right choice.
I mean, I think we've talked about this probably off camera, but you have to have the conference championships mean something, though. Yeah. So if you take away that bye, like, I mean, the only other thing you could do is just like, all right, you have a guaranteed spot, but you don't know where it is. Right. It could be a bye. You know, if
I'd be fine with that. Like I said, I mean, you had two teams that got byes that like weren't even in the top five.
Correct.
And I think that's kind of where I look at it a little bit of like, do I like this? Do I not? And I think that one, as we're in the moment of it, I'm not sure it's a great way to judge it. I think it's one of those finish the national championship and you get a chance to look at it as a whole and kind of make that decision on what you want to do there.
Yeah. I mean, I could definitely see maybe not next year, but maybe the year after, because it would be tough. Basically, the committee who created the whole format would have to basically admit that they got it wrong and have to redo it after 1 year. And I don't think they're going to do that.
Yeah, nobody.
It doesn't seem realistic.
Right, exactly.
I could see maybe 2 or 3 years down the road, sure. But I don't think you'll see anything new next year. You're not going to trim it down to 8 teams. You're not going to bump it to 16 anytime soon.
I don't dislike the 12-man. I think you saw some flaws in it, and I think it's one of those that, until we see a couple years of this, can't base something off of 1 year just because it's not enough sample size. So I think you'll see this for 2 or 3 years. I just think at some point down the road, you're going to see at least a formatting change. And we'll see. We'll see where else we go. I don't know if I like 16. I like 12 and where it sits.
I think 12 is the right number for Division I. Obviously, we know. For FBS, for FCS, we know. Didn't we look at it? It was 24.
Yeah, I think so.
That's what FCS was. I think they've been able to do that right, but that's the gap in talent on FCS teams is much slimmer than on FBS teams. Like,
yeah, I mean, we say that, but I'll say this is, I think with NIL that it's going to change a lot. Just because NIL's just allowed a lot of people to move around, and some of these guys that would have sat for a year or two behind somebody on in Alabama now has the opportunity to move and go play somewhere else.
Well, that's the thing. You can either commit out of Alabama or you can commit out of high school to Alabama and maybe not start your freshman year, or you can go to North Texas, be an absolute stud at North Texas, and then get every major college throwing a bag at you.
Right.
To come play for them, and then go to Alabama.
Right. It gives you an opportunity as as a freshman or a sophomore to like put your name out there and show that you may not have been a 5-star recruit, but you come out and you can ball, and I think it'll help people there. I just
Yeah.
I still
I just,
wasn't there they made some changes in NIL, aren't they? Where they're gonna change with the portal, or are they talking
I think
about it?
the big change that I saw was they were going to make a portal window that was
Right.
like 10 days in January. Like that's all you get. You get 10 days,
Yeah.
and that's where you have to enter the portal on this day, and you have to decide what school you're going to by this day. So it's not like a 3-week process. Oh,
Right.
Again, no disrespect to Micah Hudson, but the leaked info that his NIL demands
Oh,
were
was insane.
ridiculous. Again, no disrespect to Micah Hudson, but I don't think 18-year-olds should be making demands like that to
No, and
colleges.
no, and I don't think so either. But we'll see how it
Talented
plays.
player. Again, no disrespect. Very talented player, but no 18-year-old, no matter how good they are, should be doing this. I
Right.
actually
I don't even think you look at guys like Quinn or Beck or any of those and think that they have the opportunity or the right to make those like demands. Like it's one of those ones that like we're getting so far away from actual like collegiate sports to this
they're
is
no longer
basically
student athletes. They're not student
no,
athletes at this point.
they're not. They're just athletes
Correct.
because they're
They're
being paid to
athletes
do
there to
this.
make the school money, and at some point the grades aren't going to matter.
I will say that's one thing I liked from Primetime and what he announced. I think it was like earlier this week, or it may have been late last week, where he implemented a lot of new rules in for his team, where like it was like no slides or tank tops or anything like that. You're to sit at the front of the class, and then and telling them that he's going to have people come check in on it. He doesn't want them to just be viewed as athletes. He still wants them to get an education and
It's really
everything along
convenient
that
now that
line.
his again not saying he's doing this, but it's real convenient that both of his sons are leaving college, and now he's implementing those rules.
Right? No shit. Um,
Not saying it's happening, but it's just a coincidence.
Right, and the same thing. I think he made a comment about seniors and that like last semester going if you've got Fs and if you get Ds and Fs, like said we'll start taking money out of your check.
Yeah, I mean,
It's nice just to see that.
I don't know. They got to figure something out because Carson Beck getting $10 million from the
I
University
thought it
of
was
Miami.
only 4.
No, it's like 10.
Is it? I
Yeah,
saw 4.
I'm pretty sure it's closer to 10 because I saw something this evening. Travis Hunter was on some other podcast complaining that Carson Beck got 10 million.
Yeah, Carson
And
Beck scored
he
nearly
was like,
2
"Oh,
million.
I should just come back to college, see if I can get 100 million." At some point, it's going to happen. Like, it'd be absolutely ridiculous. But I mean,
Yeah, I'm looking at an article right now. So within the last 12 months, he's between his name, image, and likeliness, he's gotten close to 10 million in NIL.
Yeah.
I mean, that's we had this conversation off camera about it, where we were both interested to see if Quinn was going to transfer.
Yeah, and I mean, it came out that he declined. What was it? 8? Was it 8 million?
And
Did it reach 8 million?
I've heard anywhere from 4 to 8.
Yeah, I mean, I was going to say either 8. It was either 8 or 6. I knew it was above 4 though, because originally it was 4, and then I thought it moved up. But
It did move
he
up.
officially declared for the draft.
Well, I'm interested to see exactly how that plays because you saw Beck do the same thing. So I'm wondering if the same thing could potentially happen to Quinn, where he kind of sees where his stock is and he goes, you know what?
Right, but I mean, Quinn's stock has been
It's been up and
low
down all
for
season.
pretty much since he's been injured, since he got hurt real early.
He got hurt, I think, like game 2.
He was my second quarterback on my board at the beginning of the season behind Cam Ward.
I don't hate him falling because I think he's still going to go second or third. I don't think he's done enough to be a first round pick. I stand by it, and we had this conversation off camera. I'd love to see him go to the Rams and sit a year or 2 behind Stafford.
Yeah, that would be a good. It would be a good place to sit and learn from a guy like that.
Right, exactly. And I mean, there's never any telling on how long Stafford's got left, but I mean, Los Angeles has got to do something to put themselves in a position for when the guy does retire, because he can't have a whole lot more left.
No, but people have been saying that for years, and
They have.
look at him; he's still going. So, speaking of the draft, we're going to get into where I'm going with this, but Mike McCarthy is no longer the head coach of the Cowboys.
Right.
There's been rumors that Dion may do it, but it would almost require for the Cowboys to get Shedeur Sanders. The Cowboys picked 12th. Shedeur's not going to fall to 12.
They're not going to fall to 12, but I mean, you wonder, and this is where you get into the whole, like, there's been speculation that Jerry's completely fine with eating that $104 million cap hit on Dak. And by all means, he could be. I don't like the thought of it. I think if you feel like you need to get Shedeur, it's going to come down to who Tennessee wants and how does Cleveland view the second option. Because if Tennessee wants Shedeur, I mean, they're in the need for a quarterback. Have to.
Mm-hmm. I think they go Cam Newton personally.
I do too. I think they're going to. I know. I just read an article right before this that one of their coaches is actually the quarterback coach for one of the. It was a particular game. Let's see if I can find that real quick.
Is it the Senior Bowl?
Yeah, I think so.
One of those end of the year showcase game things.
Yeah, the Shrine Bowl.
Okay.
One of the Titans assistants is going to be the quarterback coach for it. So he's going to get an early look at being able to actually see how Shedeur is and everything like that. So you could see a slight change in where he sits at with it, but I still think they like Ward more than anything. And I think the next thing that comes down to it is how Cleveland views it. If Cleveland sees that as their QB of the future, I mean, I could see them taking it. If I'm Cleveland in that spot, you're already screwed salary cap wise. I would trade out of the 2 spot. I think it's a weak draft for quarterbacks, and start trying to get as much draft capital as you can over the next couple of years until you're out of cap hell.
Yeah, I agree.
And I was talking to somebody. I think either today or yesterday about it. Like what we thought like if Cowboys are 100% on prime time and you need to get Shedeur to make it happen, what do you have to give? And the problem is that if you're Cleveland at 2 and you know the Cowboys want it, I'd gouge the hell out of them.
Yeah, it's going to cost 2 first-round picks. It's going to cost the 12 and next year's first.
Yep. I wouldn't be surprised if you don't see a 1 and a third this year and like a 1 and a 2 next year or something like that.
And the only other thing I can think of is you send them Dak and you eat some of that money. But I don't think it would not make sense for the Browns to take on any sort of money at the quarterback position.
No, God, no. Not unless that Deshaun contract gets voided.
You're spending like what, $120 million at the quarterback position on 2 people,
right? Well, and that's the thing I have with it now is that unless Cleveland can get out of that Deshaun contract, because they're looking into it because of that re-rupture of the Achilles. You're like after an Achilles tear, you're supposed to be in a boot for a minimum of 8 weeks. He posted a video right around Christmas of him not in that boot, walking around doing something with whoever the hell he was with. I don't know if it's his girlfriend or who it was. And then 2 days later, we hear how he ruptured it.
It was probably a physical therapy injury.
I mean, potentially, but I mean, it's still one of those ones that like you're still supposed to be in that boot.
Oh, sorry, I meant masseuse.
Oh. But I mean, if there's legal jargon or something in there that can help get them out of that, I mean, I wouldn't blame them for trying.
Dude, it's so. When Deshaun Watson busted out on the scene, we were both at Sam.
Yeah.
For the Texans, and he looked really, really, really good.
Yeah, I think
like he could take over the league good.
Yeah, but you miss a full year in the league. Like, I mean, and it showed that it's a huge detriment. And I just don't know. if he ever bounced back from everything that happened around him. And it's just been bad all around.
I mean, yeah, that guy's got a lot on his plate. I'm not saying but he just.
And
I remember
typical.
The game he watched because we were at our fraternity house, and he ran he had that crazy run. I don't remember who it was against or what year it was. I want to say it was 2017.
Probably.
He had this crazy run that it was like 50, 60-yard run.
Right.
And it was like his absolute breakout moment. Like every rookie has that breakout moment or performance. That was it for him.
Right.
Everyone thought, yeah, this is the guy that's going to take over. This is the quarterback realistically that the Texans have been waiting on their entire franchise.
Right, and the crazy thing is because you can't say that he was a bust. I mean, he did great for his first 3 or 4 years,
mm-hmm.
and you did it twice because I think CJ Stroud's going to be great.
Yeah,
I think
down year this year, but
that offensive line was hurt, and I think they need to make some pickups on it. But I think you put a good offensive line in front of the kid, and he's going to be amazing.
Offensive line, and he's going to need receiver help now that Stephon Diggs is a free agent, and Tank Dell likely to miss all of next year already.
Yeah, I don't, and that's the other thing. I wonder how. I know the Texans took a swing on that to go after Diggs to try to get him some help. I'm just wondering how much help that was. Because
I was skeptical of the move because Diggs' attitude
has been cancerous. He's been cancerous in every locker room.
He was a cancer in Minnesota, and he was because he wasn't the guy there. Who was in front of him? Someone was in front of him.
I think the issue there is that's when Thielen was there, and Thielen's just
it was Thielen. Thielen was and Diggs was the downfield threat.
Yeah, exactly. And I get it. And that's the problem I'm having right now with receivers as a whole and the league is that they're all just turning into fucking drama queens.
Or if George Pickens' case is an absolute goon.
Yeah, exactly. So and that's I saw who was Colin on the herd was talking about if the Steelers view Shador at that, he was I'd trade Pickens, Watt, and 2 first and go get Shador. It's a weak quarterback year, and everybody
you don't trade a Watt. You don't trade
you don't.
A defensive player of the year every year
Hall of Famer.
For no, I don't no.
I don't like it, but not. I mean, I think the Steelers at some point have to make some kind of noise at quarterback because Russell Wilson wasn't it. I probably would have he's great. I'd be interested to see if the Steelers re-sign Fields and make him the starter next year.
They should have kept him the starter. There was no reason.
I don't disagree, but I don't mind
Wilson
him.
There wasn't a money thing. The guy was making the league minimum, which is $750K. Not that Russell Wilson needs the money,
right?
But there was no financial. Oh, we're paying this guy $20 million. Yeah, he needs to be seeing the field. As soon as the Steelers started losing games, they weren't even fun to watch when Russell Wilson was back there. Again, no disrespect to Russell Wilson, great quarterback, probably the best quarterback in Seahawks history.
Right.
Sorry, Matt Hasselbeck.
I mean, if you look at it, Fields made more than Russ did on technically.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, right. But my thinking was, they didn't want to roll with Fields because if he broke out, then they would have to pay him if they wanted to keep
potentially.
Him.
And I mean, and that's
now they can offer him a bridge deal, like a 2-year, $15 million, 2-year, $20 million deal if they want.
Right, a 2-year, $30-40 million deal. Because I think regardless, you're going to have to pay him $15-20 a year. I don't hate it. I think I'm okay with him sitting behind Russ because Russ is who Russ is, and I think it's going to help him as a whole just develop.
But I mean,
well, that's
if you look at the guy had really bad coaching in Chicago, and he goes to Pittsburgh with one of the best coaches in the NFL,
right?
In Tomlin, and had a great 4 or 5 games, and we're like, oh no, we're gonna roll with Russ, and then just it was not exciting. And I know you don't want to play, you don't have to play sexy to win.
Let's talk about
eyes on you, and that builds confidence within a locker room. I feel like.
You know what's crazy is the free agents this year for QB.
Is it stacked?
Darnold, Wilson, Lance, Brissett, Heineke, Mariota, Locke, Fields is Flacco, Winston, Jones, Wentz, Garoppolo. All of those, they're all free agents. Russ is a free agent.
I mean, other than Darnold,
Cousins is going to be a free agent.
I saw actually, funny you mentioned Kirk Cousins. I saw a potential trade partner.
Teddy Bridgewater is coming back.
He came back out of retirement. I did see that. But I saw a trade for Kirk Cousins to the Giants.
Dude, why would you give anything to Atlanta?
It was for like a 6th-round pick in 2027. Like, you're not giving anything.
I don't disagree. I just don't know why.
I mean, here's the thing. The Giants have cap room. It has nothing like money, whatever. Like,
right.
Not the end of the world. Like you said, it's a poor quarterback class, a weak quarterback class. Even if you get like a Ewers in the 2nd round.
He's not ready to start.
I don't think he's ready to start.
I'd like to see him sit for at least a year, if not 2.
I don't hate it. I know I'm a Malik Neighbors dynasty owner. I didn't hate that move at all. I do not hate that move.
No, because Cousins is gonna throw the ball.
He can throw the ball. He can throw it well. I don't know what happened this year. I mean, he's always turned the ball over quite a bit.
And that's the thing. Giants have to do something because both Locke and DeVito are free agents.
Well, they need to cut DeVito. DeVito needs to go to the CFL or the Arena Football League. He's not an NFL quarterback. Bro, he went to Syracuse. I don't even know if he played a game at Syracuse.
Right.
Again, he played NFL quarterback for several games. He's much better than me.
You know what they're calculating?
But the guy is not good.
You know what they're calculating Darnold's market value at? $40 million average a year. And I wouldn't.
He has to go to the right spot, and I think the only spot is Minnesota with Kevin O'Connell.
I don't disagree.
Maybe wherever Ben Johnson goes.
Yeah.
If Ben Johnson goes to the Raiders, yeah.
That I wouldn't
Darnold
hate
to the
seeing
Raiders.
I wouldn't hate seeing Darnold with Cliff Kingsbury if he goes somewhere.
Yeah. Well, he's been rumored with Chicago, I think. As well.
I don't trust anything Chicago's doing right now because of how many people they're trying to interview.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of names regarding.
Yeah,
Chicago.
You could.
Ron Rivera was one.
Yeah,
again,
McCarthy.
Defensive coach. God, if McCarthy the Bears.
I like McCarthy at the Bears. As bad as much as you don't, I do. He is with what he's done with the quarterbacks he's had. And I think the perfect example was this past year with Cooper Rush. They still won games. That offense was still moving the ball. I don't hate it.
No, you're right.
I mean, if you look at it, 2 of Dak's best years were under McCarthy.
But here's the thing. I thought they closed all the Denny's in Chicago. So his play call sheet would look really different.
Jesus Christ, that's not where I thought that was going. But like I said, I don't know. I don't mind it.
Can I get a grand slam right off tackle onto play action boot? 2 eggs scrambled. Break.
But I mean,
that's gonna sound really good when I hear it back later.
Oh, for sure.
Sure.
But I like McCarthy there. I want Williams has to have some kind of stability. If not, he's going to be on his 3rd play caller in his first year.
But imagine him with Cliff Kingsbury.
I don't disagree.
That would be insane.
No, absolutely. I just look at Cliff's track record.
Yeah, it's not great. I understand that. I don't think he never had a solid defense in Arizona.
No.
And then he had the USC job for 5 seconds.
Yeah. Like I said, I love what
he was
he's
the
done.
offensive coordinator of the Commanders, isn't he?
Yeah, he is. I love what he's done this.
Look what
this
he's done with
season
Jaden Daniels.
Yeah, it's been great.
And I don't think Jaden Daniels and Caleb Williams, other than their decision making, are that different.
I don't either.
Ability-wise, I think Caleb Williams can be that good.
No, absolutely. If you do that, I want the right coordinators around him.
Well, Cliff's calling the plays.
I need I want particular, I need a really Cliff heavy-minded.
Was a quarterback. Like, he's a quarterback guy.
No, he is. And you can you can have the best offense in the league and not make the playoffs. Look at the fucking Bengals.
I was going to say, I don't think that's true, but then you said the Bengals.
So it's one of those that I'd want a really great defensive coordinator with him.
Oh yeah, you'd have to.
You'd have to give it a really there's a one. Particular there's going to have to be a particular staff around Cliff. And I wasn't talking about Caleb because I don't like Cliff and Caleb work together. There's no issues there. It's just if you've got a dumpster fire of a defense, what good does it do if you're scoring 35 points a game if you're allowing 40?
Yeah. Like you said, look at the Bengals. It makes sense. It makes sense. So
it'll be interesting over the next probably month or so as we kind of start seeing some of these coaching jobs fill, because there's going to be a lot of movement.
Yeah. Let's actually talk about, we've got the 4 matchups in the playoffs. There's some, these are all really good matchups, I think they could literally go either way. The spreads on some of them are a bit high for playoffs.
I think the only ones that I could see, I think you've got 2 great games and I think you have 2 potential blowouts. That could be great, but they could also just be dumpster fires.
Okay.
I think Bills and Ravens, or that easily could have been an AFC Championship game.
Oh yeah, that's going to be a great game. The spread is 1 point.
I think the same thing goes with that Eagles-Rams game. I think that could easily have been an NFC Championship game with how LA played last week.
LA's been hot.
Exactly.
No pun intended. I did not do that on purpose.
I wasn't going to say anything about it.
I didn't do that, yeah, but I had to call it out immediately. I did not do that on purpose. The LA Rams have been a very good team recently.
They're hitting their stride at the right time.
Correct. Which is what good teams do.
Exactly. You've got to hit your stride coming into the playoffs and getting hot. So I like how LA. They looked good last week against the Vikings. And then I think both of those are going to be close games. I think
all these are going to be close games.
I don't know.
I'm yes, I have Justin Jefferson, 2 signed things from Justin Jefferson on my wall, but I'm a Chiefs fan, and the Chiefs are 9-point favorites. The Texans could cover that.
Oh, they could.
The Chiefs' offense hasn't been that good this year.
Chiefs have also not played a game in 24 days.
Right, their starters didn't play week 18.
Yeah.
But I think they'll be. That defense has been so good this year. I think that would be a low-scoring game. The over/under is 41.5.
Right, and like I said, that Lions Commanders game. Like I said, I think the Commanders have been one of the better teams on third down. They also don't give up the ball. It's just they're really good. They don't.
And they're 10-point dogs in that one.
Yeah, I've got 9.5.
Yeah, it's that could. Don't be wrong. I think the Lions win that one. I think the Chiefs beat the Texans. I think the Eagles win, and I think the Ravens beat the Bills.
Ooh, absolutely. Barely. I think the.
It's honestly a coin toss. But I think I give the edge to the Ravens. I like their defense just a little bit better.
I think it'll be interesting. Ravens have one thing they've never had coming into the playoffs, and that is a really great run game. Yeah. From somebody that's not named Lamar Jackson.
Yeah.
So I think, and this is you've got
it's in
Derrick
Buffalo
Henry.
too. So
and there's potential snow.
It'll be a fun game to watch.
Like that could be a game where like you see the ball handed off a lot.
Yeah, I favor Ravens.
I don't know. I mean, Bill's running back's not bad. Cook.
No, he's not.
He had a
no, but he's not Derrick Henry.
Nobody's fucking Derrick Henry.
Donald Trump's Derrick Henry. He's the same size.
they're just built a little bit different.
Well, one's a running back and one's the president. So
one literally looks like a brick shit house and one looks like an orange.
This is also true.
So I mean, I'm like I said, I want to see an upset somewhere in this weekend just because upsets are fun.
The one I see the most is the Commanders.
I know Commanders looked good last week,
which I hate because like the Lions are so much fun to watch.
Oh,
but like so are the Commanders.
Dan Campbell's amazing.
Yeah, like both of those teams are so fun to watch.
I don't know. I mean, talk about how if CJ Stroud comes out and looks good and gets off to a hot start.
Yeah, I mean, he definitely could. I don't think they get past either the Ravens or the Bills if that's the case. But
no, it's also the officiating staff for that Chiefs Texans game is.
Here we go.
Chiefs have never lost with them.
Chiefs don't lose that many games.
I'm just saying. But so the only one we really differ on is that Bills Ravens game.
Yeah, it seems like it. I mean, I think the Eagles will win.
I think Eagles win. That Saquon's good. I think, and definitely if Saquon does what he did like he did earlier this season, he went off for 255 if I remember right.
Was that against the Rams?
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember watching that one. I couldn't remember if it was against the Rams.
So I saw a stat that anytime a running back has played a team that they played in the regular season in the playoffs, the average for on 7 games is like 46 yards.
Okay.
So I was like, I'd say I don't see it happening. I just don't think you can stop Barkley.
No.
I mean, I'd put him up there with Henry.
I mean, they're probably 1-2 in the league.
Oh, easily.
I mean, yeah. I can't think of anyone else that would even come close to 1 or 2. The only one the other one I think was maybe Jamar Gibbs is getting there, but as of right now, no, it's Saquon and Derrick Henry still.
Yeah.
So, which is cool to see.
So we have let's say Lions, Eagles win, Chiefs and whoever they play, whether it's the Bills or the Ravens. Like I said, I think they're very similar when you look at that. I mean,
either way, the championship game goes through Arrowhead, and that is not an easy place to play.
God, no, it's not. It's
loud.
It's loud. We're right in the middle of with all these Arctic blasts coming in. It's gonna be fucking cold.
Absolutely. We're supposed to get snow again, so this time I'll be here for it though.
Are we?
I thought so.
Nah, it's everything everything I've seen is all like south. Like called like Huntsville down to like Houston. Houston Tuesday's supposed to get like I think 2 to 4 inches.
Usually it's North Texas that gets the snow.
Right. There's just no moisture up here right now, and all that moisture coming off the Gulf with that cold front coming in.
All right, let's talk national championship game. We started with college football. Ohio State is currently 8.5 point favorites. Does that seem high to you?
No.
No?
No, dude. That like the only reason Texas did as well as they did is because they had 3 guys on that receiver the entire game.
Yeah. The Ohio State defense is so good, dude.
Right. And it's one of those ones that I will give Texas credit. They did. I thought it was going to be a blowout, and I'm a Texas fan.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't see it. And that game looked a lot worse if you looked at the score on it. because of that fumble that was returned for a touchdown late.
Mm-hmm.
If not, like I said, that was a close game. Texas had an opportunity late in the fourth with, I think, about 4 minutes left on the one. And I think Sark, I don't know what Sark's thought on his play call there was. Like, you're on the one and you run a jet sweep. Like, what in the fuck are you doing?
Yeah.
So, like, I think Texas had an opportunity to push it into an opportunity for OT. Bad play calling, and then Quinn gets hit by Sawyer, and he takes it to the house. Well, I think it was like 83, 84 yards.
Yeah, something like that.
So it is, but I mean, you saw what Ohio State did to Oregon. I mean, absolutely torched them.
Mm-hmm.
I think, and that's we talked
basically in their backyard at the Rose Bowl. That was
exactly. And I think you look at it because both of us had the conversation after Ohio State lost to Michigan that both of us were all for Ryan Day's head on a platter. And he's come out through the start of this playoffs and has looked unbeatable.
Yeah.
That offense has just been crazy.
You know, I'm looking at the odds. Excuse me. Look at the odds of the national championship. Never mind. They had it split between offensive and defense. I was like, I don't see Jack Sawyer on this list at all. What does just absolutely baffle me is Will Howard is the odds favorite offensive MVP.
I mean, if he spreads the ball and scores a bunch of touchdowns, sure. Who's the receiver for them? I can't think of it.
Jeremiah Smith.
Yes.
Emeka Egbuka, Tate Carnell. You're throwing. I could be an offensive MVP with those three receivers.
Right. You've got three receivers that could easily
Those are NFL caliber receivers playing college football. One of them's 18.
Yeah. Well, I saw a post. Well, it had to have been today or yesterday. I think you look at college right now, and wide receiver U is probably Ohio State and LSU now. If you look at some of the talent in the league.
I mean, as well, especially with the way the transfer window works. Like, look at Jamison Williams. He came out of Alabama, played really well at Alabama. Like, he was a great Alabama receiver, but he was a transfer from Ohio State. Like LSU, you got Justin Jefferson and Malik Neighbors, Chase. T. Higgins is Clemson. Clemson was up there too for a while. DeAndre Hopkins, right. T. Higgins, guys like those.
Then they
had another one. Sammy Watkins is who I was thinking of.
Oh, okay. But I mean, you look at Ohio State. Ohio State does the Jigba, Olive.
What?
I don't. Olive. However you want to.
Olave.
Yeah, sure. There you go.
Olive.
There's another. Marvin Harrison Jr.
Yeah.
I mean, he's still young, but I mean, you can't look at him and not think that he doesn't have a chance to be a great receiver in the league.
He just has to get his head in there.
I believe rough life back there, brother.
Mm-hmm. He just has to get his face on the screen.
But you think that goes over under on that's 45.5.
Over.
Think so?
The Notre Dame defense has been pretty good, but I think Ohio State gives up at least 17.
Okay.
So I'm thinking like 31-17, 38-17.
Yeah.
I think Ohio State could put up 30.
Good.
No problem.
Have you seen the Reddit post that's going around about the guy that made a comment about Notre Dame? No. That he's like, there's no way Notre Dame wins the national championship. If they win the national championship, I'll cut off my dick. He has now doubled down on it and talked to, and like has literally said that if they win it, he will go have the surgery. Like, what if we not learned anything from this season's where people
I'm still waiting on that guy to eat dog shit out of a Solo cup.
Exactly.
What are you, a Florida State fan? That guy's probably in hell anyways. Like that guy's
there was another one. Wasn't there another guy from
there was another one. It happened twice. I can't remember what it was.
It was a Big 12 school.
I want to say it was Kansas State.
I think it was. I want to say
I think it was the Kansas State BYU game.
It was the Kansas State. Yes.
I don't remember what it was though.
Oh, I'm about to find out.
I was like, I know what school it was. Who do you think wins?
Ohio State.
Do they cover?
Yeah, probably. I'm interested to see. I'm interested to see how that defense handles Smith.
Yeah. Well, again, that Ohio State defense is just insane. So, and there's no Jeremiah Smith. There's Jeremiah Love.
Yeah.
And if you could stop the run, then you could stop Notre Dame, in my opinion. I don't think their passing game has been as prolific as their run offense.
Not at all.
I do like Riley Leonard. I don't think he has much of like a, could be wrong here. Riley Leonard's a kind of like a, I don't know if you remember Colin Klein type quarterback where he was like a power runner.
Right.
Not really known for throwing, but he can throw, but he's better suited with his leg. Like he's a better quarterback when he uses his legs. So
yeah,
I don't know how far that'll take you.
Yeah. So the Kansas State fan literally tweeted, goes, if Kansas State loses to BYU, I'll shove a beefy 5-layer burrito up my ass.
Here's the thing. He actually did it.
Yeah, he went through with it.
He didn't go that far up, but it was there. There was photographic proof that actually happened.
Yeah, so it's one of those that, at least he followed through with it. Unlike the Florida State
guy. Do you think he ate it afterwards?
You sick fuck.
We're K-State fans. We're built different out in Manhattan.
Yeah, that's what we'll go with. Like making wild bets on the internet after 2 weeks after seeing the Florida State guy do it.
Yeah. But again, at least
he followed through.
He followed through with it. That guy, I did not see him eating dog shit out of a Solo cup.
Right. Well, and that's the thing. That now you'll see, if Notre Dame wins national championship, this guy is going to break the internet. Because he literally he made.
If that were me and I did that, I would back out of that immediately. I'm not doing that. I don't care what's being said about me on the internet. I'm not doing that.
Right. And he's like, you'll have to give me time, guys. I've already talked to my wife about this. We'll have to accelerate our what for kids. He went into this whole full detailed explanation on how he'll do it. I was like, fucking insane.
Absolutely not.
I was like, I just don't make stupid bets on the internet like a jackass. Make them with your friends so you can back out of them.
Yeah. What else we got? I know there's some other sports going. We got college basketball is kind of in full swing. We got to conference play. NHL's halfway through the season. NBA's the NBA.
You don't really keep up with it. I do.
No, I don't. It's just, I don't know why. It's just been so difficult to keep up with the NBA because it's if you at this point, if you don't keep up with college basketball, you can't really keep up with the NBA for the most part.
That's fair.
Guys are playing 1 year in college basketball and going to play in the NBA, and they take over the league. I think I saw it was a highlight or something, and they announced the starting lineup, and I recognized 0 names, and I was like, I think that's the first time I haven't recognized a starting lineup, at least one name in a starting lineup since I was 6 years old. Maybe I used to be all about the NBA. I used to love it. I don't know what happened.
Yeah, NHL, full swing. What's the standings on that looking like? So you keep up with NHL like I keep up with the NBA.
Yeah. Yeah.
Stars are third in the Central right now.
Yeah, freaking Connor Hellebuck is just having and the Winnipeg Jets in general, having a hell of a year.
Yeah.
It's like every other year they're really good. I don't know what they're drinking up there in Winnipeg, but
I mean, their last 10, they're 6-2-2.
It's still
not bad.
14 points.
Stars are 8-2 in the last 10.
That's 16 points.
Yeah, so I mean, their Stars are 8 points back right now.
Yeah, I think we have a couple games in hand too. So I think it's like 1 or 2. Or did they catch up?
They're pretty. No, it's probably. They're tied. 43 games played each.
Then they must have caught up because last time I looked at I think last week they had a couple games in hand. They do. They have 2 games in hand.
Okay.
The Stars have played 44. The Winnipeg Jets have played 46.
Oh.
But that you wouldn't be able to catch. You'd still be 4 points behind if they win.
Stars have just played atrocious on the road.
Yeah, we haven't been good on the road.
12-9.
I mean, comparatively, I would prefer to play at home in the playoffs.
Wouldn't we all?
Right now, we're playing Minnesota, so
yeah, not ideal, but could be worse.
Could be worse.
You gotta quit that shit.
What?
Yawning.
Sorry. I'm old.
Fuck you. Sack of shit.
It could be worse. We could be the Nashville Predators.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, they're not even the worst team either.
How are the Washington Capitals the best team in the Eastern Conference? That's wild.
Yeah, I mean, 65 points.
They were bad for like 2-3 years.
Hey, at least they're not Chicago Blackhawks bad.
I said this last time. Stop putting them on national television. Like, I understand Connor Bedard is so good. Stop putting him on national television. Like, I'd rather watch Celebrini. And I know Bedard is the second youngest player to score 100 points.
You want to know something weird about Utah?
They don't have an actual team name?
Yeah, that's true. It's very soccer-ash.
Well, they're going to get a team name next year. They've already announced that they're going to get a team name.
They have a better record on the road
than at home.
Uh-huh.
Well, they finally finished their the seating rework. They also should get a lot of people in because I think they're $10 a seat.
So 6-11-4 at home, 12-8-3 away.
Interesting.
Yeah, I'm just like looking. Dude, that's like the Canucks that are almost the same way.
Yeah, I definitely expected more out of the Canucks for sure.
Rangers
I need Vegas to just fall off a cliff. Like when are they going to run into a bad season? Like they haven't since they've been a team. They haven't been bad. Like I don't get it.
Yeah, I mean, good coaching and they just make good moves. You can't.
No, yeah. That's how you get good teams.
No, I mean I get it. I'm just like you knocked it out of the park to start with.
Yeah, they literally picked the right guys. It made sense.
Random question: did you watch any of the TGL?
I tried to. I saw that Tiger's team got their ass kicked.
So I didn't catch.
I'm still trying to figure it out.
I am too. A good video to watch just to see it like played without everything else going on. Good put out one where they got to play in there.
Yeah, I saw that. But it's like an hour long.
It wasn't bad. I watched it all. It was good.
Okay. It was good.
It was good. But it was good to see because like they still had all the officiating crew and everything that you would see during like a normal TGL match that basically walk them through it and explain like the rules, what's expected, and everything else like that. You also got to see just kind of like an up close of everything in there. and how like the green works and everything, and you're like, that's fucking cool.
Mm-hmm.
Plus, I like it because it's fast paced. Like they have a shot clock.
Well, yeah, I remember after week 1 I guess is what they called it. They did a press conference and they're like, "What can you guys take from TGL and like move it into like the tour and LIV?" And simultaneously, all 3 golfers goes shot clock.
Right. So you don't get that one guy that takes like almost fucking 20 minutes to get his drive.
Yeah.
I can't think of who.
There's some golfers that take a very long time to hit the golf ball.
But yeah, shot clock would be nice. Like I said, just watching that video, like you get to see it more like at a slower pace and the explanation behind it. So I thought it was cool.
I may have to check that one out. I haven't watched a good video in a long time.
Like I said, I'll throw it up, but like I'll have it in the background on my other monitor, just kind of listening to it, and have it up occasionally if like I hear something.
Once they got like ultra mega huge is when I like haven't really.
Right, like I remember starting to watch them when it was just GM Golf.
Yeah, when it was just GM Golf was.
And it was
I always like their course vlogs, but they do course vlogs and they do them differently now. I don't know. Well, I don't know. I haven't I stopped watching for a while and I didn't get back into it, so it's probably fairly similar to what it was.
Right.
But I don't know. The feeling just isn't the same.
Not the same like when you watched him, Sharf, and Steve, like fucking Will of Not Ideal.
Yeah, those were the best. Those, I mean, basically when Steven couldn't play golf, essentially.
Right, like he was atrocious, and now like
comparatively to Matt and Gary, yeah, they were. It was rough, but
we'll finish this up with the Dodgers somehow getting better.
Oh yeah, I wanted to bring that up. I forgot about that. Roki Sasaki, unsurprisingly, signs with the Dodgers.
It was such a hard decision.
The Rangers were in it for a while. They were the 4th team. They were the 4th choice. Behind the Padres and the
Mets?
No.
I thought the Mets were in it.
The Mets were in it, but they got cut before the Rangers did.
Okay.
It got cut down to 4 and then got cut to 3.
Okay.
It was the Dodgers, Padres, and
somebody else. I can't think of who it was.
Wasn't the Cubs? The Cubs were 4th and 5th too.
Jace.
Yes, it was Toronto, and I knew Toronto wasn't in it. There was no way.
I was like, I
didn't see it. I was like, I really hope it goes to the Padres because then it'll be an actual competition between the 2 teams in a way.
Right. It's just.
And I mean, Sasaki had a relationship with Yu Darvish, who pitches for the Padres. Right. Obviously, he has a relationship with Shohei Ohtani, who pitches and hits for the Dodgers.
I just like.
Have you seen his highlights though? That kid is nasty.
Oh yeah, he
is disgusting.
He's got 5 solid pitches.
Oh yeah, for sure. Well, a lot of those guys in Japan have like 7 or 8 pitches they can actually throw. But right. U.S. catchers don't have enough fingers.
Yeah, but it's just like
this rotation.
Oh, fucking disgusting!
Shohei Ohtani, Blake Snell, who's won 2 Cy Youngs, Tyler Glasnow, who's now healthy, Yamamoto, or no, that was. I literally saw it. I know who this guy is. I'm just blanking on his name. It's gonna drive me nuts.
Pull up the roster.
I'm doing it.
Yeah, like I just don't know.
Oh, it's Yamamoto. Yeah. Yoshinobu Yamamoto. And Rogi's like, those are all aces.
Yeah, you've got 5 1s.
Granted, Glasnow has had injury problems. Ohtani's obviously has had injury issues. Like pitching arms do get hurt. Like they do get hurt. But here's the thing: you can have a guy skip a start and pitch some of these other guys. Like Bobby Miller had a bad year last year, but like he's not bad by any means. Like. LA can rest any of those guys if they need to. They're like, hey, my arm's feeling a little sore. Okay, well let's pitch. Let's do this. Let's take a break. And they're not gonna. They won't miss any. They won't miss it.
No, like they're gonna be perfectly fine.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like how do you have that many? Like how do you get that lucky?
Well, you just have money and not worry about a luxury tax.
Yeah,
I don't know what the contract is. I don't think that's been announced.
It can't be much. I mean,
he's technically an international amateur, so it can't be. It's not going to be a bunch of money, but
yeah, like it's not a bunch of money, but I mean, it's still. They've got him for what? Probably the next like 5 years.
23-year-old Japanese pitcher. You don't see that very often.
No, most of them wait and come out.
I mean, they have to be posted, and I'm not sure how much he was posted for. It's weird how it's interesting how they do it. So ESPN has their playoff odds with Sasaki and without. Without, it was 95% chance and 99.9 wins. World Series chance 22.8. With Sasaki, it is 102.6 wins, 98.5% chance to make the playoffs, and a 27.9% to win the World Series.
Yeah, I don't know anybody that can compete against that team.
Yeah.
Like it's
trying to find. Trying to find what he was posted for. Because I know they had to spend some money. Like you literally have to pay those. You have to pay a fee to just talk to them.
Right.
He's considered an international free agent, meaning he comes with 6 years of club control and will earn a rookie salary in 2025, in addition to a $6.5 million signing bonus.
Yeah,
he is 6 years of control. If he comes out and
at least
deals
29.
Yes, but if he comes out and deals, this is a similar situation to what we talked about a few weeks ago with Carter and Langford.
Right.
If he comes out and deals year one, what's stopping them from offering him like a 15-year like mega deal? Because 15 years he'll be 40. He'll be 39.
Yeah.
And these pitchers are going on for Verlander just signed with the Giants. And he's 44. That's close, but like he's in his 40s.
Actually that old? I'm looking. He is 41.
He's in his 40s. He'll be 42 before the season starts.
That's crazy.
Yeah. He's about to turn 42.
And still just throwing gas.
Yeah. I mean, didn't have a great year last year, but I mean,
be fine. One of those ones where you're just
whatever.
But yeah, Dodgers for the foreseeable future are set.
Dodgers are for the foreseeable future the World Series favorites.
I
think they were the favorites before. I'm pretty sure they were.
Oh, they had to have been.
They are the defending champions, but they got to compete. Rangers are also.
We'll see.
Not defending anymore, but you were good in 2023.
That and I mean, Rangers got hot at the right time.
I got two of them.
What the fuck? Why do you have two of them?
Well, one is Josh Young.
Okay.
Yeah, and then the other is Carter's.
Say Josh's last name.
Josh Young. It's not Jung.
No, you said Young.
Nope, I said Young.
Okay, I guess we'll hear it when we hear the playback on it.
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
Son of a bitch.
Well, let's leave it there. We can talk some more stuff later and actually get it out because I'm here, you're here, shouldn't be a problem. So
we'll see. I think next we're talking about maybe potentially talking about some soccer. So
yeah, European soccer probably.
May have a guest or two on, so we'll see how it plays out and who can get where on that.
Yeah, we'll see. But that's going to do it for this episode. Sorry it took so long to get one out for 2025. I know it's been almost 3 weeks since our last episode, but
right, holidays and everything else like that.
Holidays, New Year, work gets in the way, of course. So, but we'll try to be more consistent with getting at least a weekly upload on Spotify, YouTube, stuff like that. So go check us out over on YouTube if you want to watch the full, face cam and everything on us. See what we look like if you guys care, which you don't, I'm sure. But
nobody wants.
If not, we're on Spotify. Pretty much anywhere you can get a podcast, we're there. So we will see you guys in the next episode.